Traditionally, an email that you create in something like Outlook would then be transmitted to your mail server. From there, the email goes through the internet until it gets received by your external recipient, and the same thing happens in the reverse order. When the mail server becomes unavailable, then the email flow stops completely. However, when you're using Mimecast and there is that same kind of server failure or server unavailability, a direct connection is created from your Outlook to Mimecast so that your email flow can continue for both sending and receiving emails. When the email server becomes available again, MSO automatically turns itself off and your emails then continue to flow through the mail server itself. Emails that have been processed by the MSO are automatically deduplicated in Outlook. Mimecast Services for Outlook therefore allows you to continue to send and receive emails even when your email server becomes unavailable, but some other features are also available. With MSO 4, we also have included additional options for authentication, so it makes it easier for MSO to authenticate your email address and password, and to make sure that you get your automatic software updates every time the application has been upgraded or improved. With the archive search, we also give you the ability to work with an advanced archive interface and to be able to export emails yourself directly into Outlook. And new for MSO 4, we now have the email management areas that allow you to manage your email rules around spam and held emails, as well as all of your policies to block or permit senders, and thereafter control which stationery, security, and attachment policies should apply to the emails that you create. All of these features will be discovered more in our remaining tutorial videos, all available from the knowledge base. Once the MSO software has been installed and you authenticate it against the Mimecast service, a Mimecast tab is added to the Outlook ribbon or taskbar. This Mimecast ribbon is broken up into four main components: the archive search, the email gateway, email continuity, and general. The archive search component allows you to search through your Mimecast archive using an advanced search editor or otherwise quick search options. The email gateway will allow you to work with spam and your mailbox policies as well as your hold queues. Email continuity helps you to access your current emails in Mimecast and to activate or deactivate continuity. And finally, in the general section, you can access account options and other feedback and help features. An additional Mimecast tab is also available within new email messages. Information about this Compose tab will be covered in other tutorial videos, but you can see here that we cover both encryption, delivery options, and again we repeat the general section within this tab as well. The MSO account options is used to configure the settings for your MSO installation. It is important to note that you should only make changes to these settings while consulting your administrator. First, there are the network settings, where a proxy server can be configured if necessary for your specific environment. Add in the server and port options, as well as your authentication details if they are applicable. Next we have authentication options, and three options are available here. First, there is integrated authentication, which does not require you to enter your details. Instead, your Windows user information on the computer is supplied to Mimecast to authenticate your details. This would be configured by the administrator when MSO has been deployed. Alternatively, you can use your network password by using the Set Credentials options within Domain Authentication. And finally, you could also use a Mimecast Cloud password if this has been allocated by the administrator. To configure one of the Domain or Cloud Authentication options, click the Set Credentials button, add your password, and click the Login link. An authentication process takes place, and if Mimecast has authenticated, a notification is also displayed, and the status panel on the bottom left-hand side will indicate which authentication method has been used. Keep in mind that the Change Password option for cloud authentication may also only be available if the administrator chooses to make it available to you. A list of all recent alerts can also be displayed by clicking the Alert Viewer button. This will display a list of notifications and alerts that MSO has experienced, with the most recent alert at the top of the list. you can use the Clear button to remove the entries. The About dialog box displays the currently installed version of MSO, as well as whether any new versions of the software are available, or if the software is up to date. If a new version is available, and your administrator has allowed for manual updates, you are able to download and install updates manually. Alternatively, installations may be taking place automatically when you shut down Outlook and open Outlook again. In this example, we will download the update manually. A status bar is displayed to show the progress of the download. Once the file is ready to install, it will automatically take place when Outlook is next closed and reopened. Once the installation is complete, you can relaunch Outlook and verify that the new version has been installed by clicking on the About button. The status window will then display that MSO is now up to date. Mimecast also welcomes feedback on your experience of the MSO product, which is accessed through the feedback button within the General section of the Mimecast tab. You can select from the type of feedback that you would like to provide us with, as well as add any comments, before including potential log files for troubleshooting properties or even the copies of your clipboard. You can submit your feedback to Mimecast, which will reach our developers, and they will be able to work on your feedback to try and improve your Mimecast experience. Alternatively, please contact your local administrator and they will assist you with any potential experience problems that you may have with MSO. One of the main features of MSO is the ability to search your archive using the Archive Search panel. Several options are available, including quick searches as well as an advanced search editor. The quick search box searches through the last year's worth of emails. Enter your search text and hit the Enter key to begin the search, or click on the magnifying glass icon. This will display the search editor with the search results. You can select one of the results to display the information as requested. Alternatively, you can use the Recent Searches drop-down to search through any of the recent search terms that you have utilized. The Saved Searches drop-down menu will show any saved searches that you may have created. Saved searches are created using the Advanced Search Editor, which we're going to use next. Click on the Main Search button to access the Advanced Search Editor, which provides you with additional search criteria and options. First, you get the basic search, which allow you to specify text and whether you'd like exact matches or to search for all matches. You can choose whether or not you'd like to specify the sender or recipient address so that that filters out your search results. And you can also decide on the date frame to search within. Use the Between option to specify exact dates. The Docs menu allows you to select the types of documents that you would like to include within the search parameters. It's important to note that this search will also search through the contents of a document that is attached to an email. And you can choose how to filter and sort your results once the results have been displayed. Notice that once the search criteria have been included, you can click on the Save button to save the search or the Search button to perform the search. Let's look at the Advanced Search Editor next. This view allows you to specify additional text options and to choose within which parts of the email to search through. Again, you get to specify the from and to addresses, date range, and documents, as well as how to sort the results. Once a search has been performed, the results are displayed within the Results tab. Again, you can change the sort order, and you can view a list of the emails that have been returned. This application is not bandwidth intensive because it only downloads the text information behind these emails. Only once an email has been selected will it be downloaded from Mimecast. Note that as you hover over these items, a selected appears on the left, so you can also multi-select items from the list if you wanted to. This will help you when you want to export the items from the search. You can use the Export option to export all of the search results or the ones selected. Alternatively, you can choose a specific message from the list, and then you can use the Export button to save the email directly into the Mimecast Saved Emails folder, which displays within your inbox. Additional options are available to reply, reply to all, forward, and also to block the sender or to report the email as spam. The action buttons at the bottom allow you to create a new search, to edit this existing search, or to complete your export as mentioned earlier. This allows you to specify the destination that you would like to export the files to. And once the export begins, the status will appear that allow you to monitor the export progress. An additional details button is available if you would like to export these emails. Next, let's look at the searches menu. This allows you to access any saved searches that you may have created, as well as be able to run the search, to edit the search criteria, or to remove it, as well as to export the results from a previous run search. Recent searches are captured automatically for you when either the quick search or advanced search editor is used to perform a search in your mailbox. Again, the same options are available here. Common searches is a list of common search criteria that Mimecast will suggest for your specific search environment. Again, search and export options are available. The tags are also quite important. If File Archive has been enabled for your organization, you will be able to access your network shared drive folders, as well as your user document folder or SharePoint folders, as well as Dropbox and Box archives from the list. Additionally, your administrator may configure other smart tags to be able to share emails that you may not have sent or received. For example, in a project team, you may be able to access all of the emails relating to that project. For more information on smart tags, please view our knowledge base or contact your administrator. One other option that is available to you is if you right-click one of the emails from the list. You can perform an archive search directly on that email, either by the address or the subject line. Manage Senders is used to control the email addresses and domains that send you emails. A block policy prevents unwanted emails from being received, and a permit policy is used to bypass spam checks performed on incoming emails. These policies will only apply to your mailbox. Mimecast also tracks the email addresses you send outbound emails to, and adds these to a trusted sender database, also known as AutoAllow. If one of these external recipients then sends you an email, all spam checks are bypassed. This is useful to prevent legitimate emails from being placed on hold incorrectly. To manage the items in these three lists, you can use a filter option to search through the items, and the drop-down menu on the right-hand side to filter by address or domain name. Hover over one of the entries in the list to remove it if it's appropriate, and use the Add button to create a new address within the list. You can switch between your permitted and auto-allow views in the same way. Another option is also available to you if you right-click one of the emails in the list. You can choose from the Block Sender option to block a sender's address or domain. Your administrator may have created policies to ensure that possible junk emails are not delivered directly to your inbox, but are instead placed within an area called the Hold Message Queue. MSO provides access from within Outlook to manage this queue, and if you've been given overseer access, you can also manage other users' queues within the moderated menu option here. It is important to note that emails may be held based on spam scanning, content examination, or attachment management policies, and the administrator will be determining which of these will be displayed within this list. Select one of the items in the list to review the contents if you're not sure if it may be spam or not. You can then choose one of the options to the right to either release the message from Mimecast, so it's delivered to your mailbox. You can reject the email, or you can add the sender to the permitted senders list. This means that future emails from the sender will bypass spam checks, which is quite handy if this email was incorrectly placed on hold due to spam. And you can also block the sender, which means that no more emails from this sender will be accepted in future, and this item is also removed from the queue. The other option is to report this email as spam. It's important to note that you won't be receiving a summary or a report back on the items that you report to us, but these items will be used to improve the spam scanning that Mimecast performs on your account. You can also select multiple items from the list using the boxes on the left to each email and afford the same action to each of those items altogether. One other option is also available to you, and that is to right-click an item from the list and to use either the Report Spam option or to block senders if that's required. In the same way, you can click on the Report Spam option when you have an item or multiple items selected within your list. To send and receive emails, Outlook needs to be able to communicate with your company Exchange server. MSO polls Exchange to determine if it is available or not. If the server cannot be contacted, MSO will continue to send and receive emails directly through Mimecast, and this is known as continuity mode. Continuity mode is typically activated automatically by the administrator. However, it is possible to force continuity mode manually, depending on whether or not the administrator has enabled this functionality. First, you would choose to work offline, which would disconnect Outlook from the Exchange server. Then you would select the Mimecast menu and click on the Activate Continuity button. A notification displays on the bottom right-hand side of your window to let you know that you've entered continuity mode. It is important to note that you cannot disable and re-enable continuity mode within the same 15-minute interval. In the status panel, you'll also notice that continuity mode has now been made active. During continuity mode activity, calendar invites cannot be delivered but will remain in Outbox until continuity is over. At the end of the continuity event, a notification is again displayed, and Outlook is reconnected to the Exchange server to continue to send and receive emails normally. All emails sent and received during continuity mode will be synchronized to the Exchange server, so you will always have a full history of all email data. Your email archive can also be displayed in two main folders, the online inbox and the online sent items. This is handy in the case of an email server outage, in which case you can access your current Mimecast emails in this view. If other mailboxes have been delegated to you, a drop-down list is available here so that you can select between different mailboxes to access the emails from. And you can select one of the items in the list to read the contents of the emails. The same options are available to you as with the other search viewers, where you can reply, reply to all, save the email locally, or forward it, as well as block the sender, save just the attachment, or report this email as spam. Emails cannot be deleted from Mimecast. To view the sent items, click on the appropriate tab, and of course you can use the same filter options to search through items within the list. When creating a new email message, and if MSO has been installed, a Mimecast tab is made available for use. The tab is segmented into the encryption, delivery options, and general sections. We already discussed the general options in other tutorial videos. First, when it comes to sending secure, this enables you to select whether or not the email encryption should be applied to an outbound email. This means that while the email is traveling across the internet, even if the data packets are hacked into, they will be encrypted. Two options are mainly available. The first is to use transport layer security to encrypt the connection, and the other is to use closed-circuit messaging, which is a Mimecast secure mail product which will keep the email in Mimecast and allow the external recipient to access it through one of our secure webmail viewers. It is important to note that the administrator policies will override what you select in this window if the options have been made available to you. For more information, please view our knowledge base or contact your administrator. Within the delivery options, one of the items available is whether or not you can apply email branding and stationery to an outbound message. Depending on your configuration, a list of items may be available to select from, or you can choose no stationery or view a list of all the stationery. Document conversion definitions, if configured, will allow you to convert documents to PDF or to remove document metadata from files, including potentially hazardous items such as Visual Basic for Applications code or items like tracked changes and comments. Finally, we have Strip and Link, which will remove the attachment from the email and replace it with a clickable and downloadable link. The external recipient will then be able to click the link to download the attachment if they need it. Once the appropriate options have been selected, continue to compose the email as normal and then click the Send button. Depending on the Mimecast service your organization has purchased, we can configure to display your mailbox email folder structure even when the email server has been made unavailable. A new set of folders is displayed underneath your primary mailbox address. This will be your Mimecast archive folder view, and that can be navigated through as per normal. This list will also display a full history of all your folders, as well as additional Mimecast archive folders will be displayed if the necessary permissions have been allocated by your administrator.